People always ask me, what is the number one key to success when it comes to making a lot of money or being very financially stable? And I could break it down into one hyper-focused idea, and that is have a very strong resistance, tolerance, and really a strong patience for stress. Anybody that's very successful, the first thing that you'll understand about them is that they are very mentally tough. You have to be mentally tough if you want to really operate in the landscape of business and really draw a lot of income. Because number one, if you are making a lot of money, that means that you are solving problems. Making money really equates to you solving some problem. And the more money that you're making really means that you're solving a problem that people don't want to solve, or you have a certain skill set or service that you're providing that allows someone to have an easier life. The jobs that pay the most are the ones that people don't want to do. And so if you want to make a large income, you have to do things that people don't want to do, but people benefit from them in large ways. So it really comes down to getting down and dirty. People always ask me, like, what jobs are going to make me the most money? And I'm very easily telling you, like, it's the jobs that you don't want to do. It's the jobs that are not fun. Being a plumber can pay up to $250,000 plus a year. People don't realize that, though. But the reality is nobody wants to deal with shit. Nobody wants to deal with fecal matter. Nobody wants to go in and unclog toilets and do all the stuff. It's not something that people are really appetized to do. People would much rather work at a restaurant or work at a nightclub or work in marketing and work in social media. But, working at a restaurant and working at a nightclub and all this other stuff, it's not going to pay you the most amount of money. It's not going to be as lucrative as you think. So you've got to start doing what people don't want to do. Does this mean that you have to go be a plumber? No, not necessarily, but it can be more technical. So I think that the largest income comes from knowledge-based positions that you acquire a large level of knowledge over a period of time to handle a very regulated or very difficult or very convoluted matter. So being a lawyer pays a lot of money because not many people understand law, but we need law on a day-to-day basis to operate in society. Being in, some kind of tech industry is going to pay you a lot of money because as the world evolves, we have more technology, and as a result, you're going to have to deal with technology, and many people don't understand coding and programming and all that stuff. Being in financial services, people don't understand financial vehicles. People don't understand how to really operate and save their money because people are emotional when it comes to how they spend. So being in financial services is very lucrative, and this is the industry that I operate in because it can make you a lot of money because people just don't want to deal with the regulation of money and stocks and all this different stuff when it comes to insurance contracts and healthcare and Medicare supplement. I could go on about this for a long time, but I'm not going to. So start to do things that you don't want to do. And then you have to be mentally tough because anything that you do is going to cause you problems. In the business of financial services, we have tons of problems. In the business of, being a lawyer, you're literally dealing with problems that could change the course of someone's life. So you have to become mentally tough. I think one of the biggest things that's very difficult for people when they're new into any business that makes a lot of money is dealing with the stress, dealing with the negativity, dealing with the haters. Even on social media, man, you know how many haters I get. You know how many people say negative things about me. They comment on my physical features. They comment on the way I say things. They say that what I say is not true. There's a lot of people that say negative things to me. I got to be able to deal with that on a day-to-day basis. And for me, I'm not new to this. It's very easy. But for some people, they may not have that thick skin, and they step out of that industry and they step out of this very lucrative opportunity because they're just not mentally tough enough. You have to be mentally tough if you want to make a lot of money. And so the question becomes, how do you become mentally tough? Well, really, I think that there's a discipline to becoming mentally tough. And this is my opinion on it. This is how I coach people. But it's waking up early in the morning and, number one, having structure. Having a day planned. Having, your day set ahead of time. My clothes are laid out the night before. I have my schedule created probably a week or two ahead of time. I take a lot of time in the morning to really meditate and really get my balance. I know that there's negativity in the day, so I try to get a workout in, get that dopamine and serotonin up, so no matter how bad my day is, I can be a little positive about the work that I did in the morning about working out because I feel like I'm getting better. And that keeps me mentally positive, which creates that mental toughness. It's also journaling. I reflect on my thoughts quite a bit. I also am very big into stoicism, which is the regulation, in a sense, of emotions. So I try to regulate my emotions as much as possible and not necessarily bury them or kill them, but to control them. And then I have a lot of good people in my life. I don't work with people that are the best at the business. I work with people that I trust, and together, because we trust each other, the business is a lot quicker and it becomes the best product out there. See, that's one of the things that people don't really talk about in business. They think that you should just go get the best person out there to come work with you in business. No, work with people that you trust. You don't want to work with essentially friends. You don't want to build a business on friendship. You can build a friendship on business, but you want to work with people that are trustworthy and that really have good intentions and a good heart. So when I bring people into the business, they may not necessarily be the number one best people in the world. We have a lot of guys that are really, really high caliber, and there are a few that I have in my business that are the best at what they do. But it wasn't that I went in with that mindset to get them there. They became the best at what they do because we had a trustful relationship. We operated in complete confidence with one another. We were transparent, and that's why they became so good, and that's why I grew so big in business as well. So these are some things, these nuggets that you guys should be writing down if you ever are into business or you have a business or you're looking to start one. I think that mental toughness has to be developed over time. It has to be refined. You have to constantly put yourself in a state of discomfort, I should say, and really push through adversity in things that you set up for yourself. You have to set up obstacles and adversity on a day-to-day basis to self-inflict trauma and pain upon yourself in preparation for what life is going to throw you. Because life is going to give you some kind of negative scenario. Life is going to throw you some kind of bullshit. Life is going to give you something that's going to upset you in some way. But when you program yourself to deal with it, and when you artificially create these obstacles that improve you, they're trauma that improves you, like setting a hard workout up or making sure that you lock in for an hour of reading a book that you may not want to read to improve yourself, or forcing yourself to learn a certain language, then you're going to get better at everything that you do. So life is about you becoming mentally tough if you want to become successful. If your goal in life is to become ultimately a very rich, powerful person that can get anything that they want at the snap of their finger, you've got to be mentally tough. The people that are at the top are not there by accident. They are very mentally tough. They deal with a lot of bullshit. There are a few people that inherited that wealth. Good for them. Their fathers and forefathers were mentally tough, and that's the blessing that they had. But at the end of the day, get mentally tough, get a routine, start learning more about how to harden your mind, and I promise you, with that, success will come.